Self-driving cars like these were supposed to be a common sight by now, but the road to autonomy has been a lot bumpier than we thought. Let's talk about what the holdup has been and why we could start to see a lot more of these cars on the road soon. In 2016, Business Insider predicted that there would be 10 million driverless cars on the road by 2020. A year later, the CEO of Ford predicted that his company would manufacture a fully autonomous car with no steering wheel and no gas pedal by the year 2021. Companies like General Motors and BMW made similar claims. But more than 5 years have passed and driverless cars are still a rare sight. The reason those optimistic predictions from several years ago turned out to be wrong has to do with what you could call the challenge of the nines. When those predictions were made, people in the industry believed that driverless cars were on the cusp of being safe and reliable enough to operate on public roads. There was this idea that driverless technology was 99% of the way towards being ready for widespread adoption, and it just needed a few more improvements to get there. 99% was a huge achievement, but it still wasn't good enough. No one wants to get into an accident once every 100 times they go for a drive. Perfect might not be attainable, but the goal was to get as close to 100% reliability as possible, something like 99.99% or more. That sounded doable, even easy. A less than 1% improvement in reliability didn't seem like much. But it turns out going from 99% reliability to 99.99% reliability is extremely difficult. Those extra nines represent edge cases, situations that drivers encounter rarely, like a pedestrian suddenly running into the road or an unexpected detour due to construction. And because those types of scenarios are so rare, self-driving cars haven't had access to as much real-world data to train their AI algorithms on. Instead, they've had to rely on simulations to try to anticipate and prepare for those types of situations. So that's what self-driving car companies like Waymo, Cruise, and Zoox have been doing all these years. They've been trying to improve the reliability of their cars so they can meet the high safety standards that are required for widespread adoption. A process that has been a major slog. But still, even though progress on autonomous vehicles has been slower than expected, there still has been progress. And we could be getting close to the point where you're going to see a lot more of these cars pretty soon. Today, anyone in Phoenix can hail a completely autonomous car powered by Waymo's technology to drive them around. The company also offers limited rides in San Francisco. Meanwhile, Cruise, a competing company, recently opened up a driverless ride-hailing service in San Francisco and more limited services in Phoenix and Austin. Another company, Motional, announced that it would soon offer driverless rides in Las Vegas and Los Angeles. So completely driverless cars are available to the public today in a growing number of US cities, something that wasn't the case a few years ago. As you can tell, driverless vehicles are being introduced to the world through robo-taxi services. They're like Uber, but without the human driver. Robo-taxis are going to be the first way that people experience autonomous transportation. The day when you or I can go out and purchase a self-driving vehicle for ourselves is probably still a ways off, contrary to what Tesla CEO Elon Musk has been saying. You see, companies like Waymo and Cruise build their cars to be autonomous from the start. Tesla's goal has been to turn its electric vehicles into autonomous vehicles by incrementally upgrading them with new self-driving software. In 2020, Tesla unveiled its initial full self-driving software update, but it's been a disappointment to many people. The Tesla cars equipped with the new software aren't anywhere close to being autonomous. What Tesla calls full self-driving is more like an advanced driver assistance system. This would make Teslas today level 2 vehicles under the 5-level driving automation scale created by the Society of Automotive Engineers. That's far from the level 4 or the level 5 that's needed before a car can drive itself without any human oversight, something that cars from Waymo and Cruise are already capable of. A few months ago, Tesla was actually sued by a group of customers who claimed the company misled the public about its car's full self-driving capabilities. These customers are upset that they paid thousands of dollars for an upgrade that doesn't do what it's supposed to do. For years, Elon Musk has said that Tesla cars will be capable of full autonomy using their existing hardware. He promised that in 2020, over 1 million Teslas will be capable of fully autonomous driving. Yet today, there isn't a single one capable of anything close to that. It remains to be seen whether Tesla's path to self-driving cars is even viable. reliable. The company has taken a very different approach to autonomy than others like Waymo and Cruise. Teslas today lack some of the sophisticated hardware that Waymo and Cruise cars have, like LiDAR sensors, which use lasers to measure distance and create a 3D map of the surrounding environment. Tesla believes that full autonomy can be achieved with computer vision systems using cameras alone, and it's built its self-driving technology around this approach. But some people, including Waymo's former CEO John Krafcik, have said that Tesla's approach to autonomy is a dead end and just won't work. So we'll see who's right. Today, Waymo and Cruise have the upper hand. They actually have self-driving vehicles on the road, something that Tesla seems far away from achieving. And not only do Waymo and Cruise have driverless cars on the road, they're actually expanding the number of cities in which they operate. It's amazing to me that you could be in Phoenix or San Francisco and actually get a ride in a car without a driver. It's like something out of science fiction. Now that we've seen their success, there's little doubt that we can continue to see these companies expand into other cities with similar driving conditions. After that, the question becomes, can these cars operate in more difficult environments, like in areas with steep cliffs or heavy snowfall? That's something that remains to be seen. A fully autonomous level 5 vehicle that can operate in any environment without human intervention is something that's still a ways off, and something that some people believe may never come to fruition. But that's probably too pessimistic. We already have legitimate level 4 autonomous cars that can operate without human drivers in specific environments. Maybe that's all we'll have over the next several years, but technology is advancing at such a rapid rate that it would be foolish to rule anything out. We also have to take government policy into account. What level of safety are the public, and by extension governments, okay with? On average, there's a fatal accident by a human driver every 100 million miles driven. Will self-driving cars be held to a higher standard? The answer to that question is going to play a part in determining whether these cars become more widespread and whether we eventually see level 5 autonomous vehicles on the road. So we'll see what the future brings. The autonomous revolution is happening a little bit slower than expected, but it is still happening. And it's set to radically transform not only passenger vehicles, but long-haul trucks, agriculture equipment, and so much more. Hope that helps, and subscribe for more business and investing insights.